Welcome to Biblio Bistro. My name is Megan Jazak, and I am a registered dietitian and community health educator with the Portage Health Foundation.
Hi everyone, I'm Michael Stonitis, and I am the program coordinator at Portage Lake District Library.
And I believe you have some cooking under your belt as well, don't you, Michael?
I do. I've been a professional cook for quite a few years. I'm not going to say how many, but quite a few.
Rumor has it you make some pretty stellar feta as well.
Oh yeah,
True?
and I was a cheesemaker for a few years, and I had a nice herd of goats.
Sounds fabulous. Well, Biblio Bistro is hosted by the Portage Lake District Library in partnership with the Portage Health Foundation. We hope that you find this cooking series to be approachable for all cooking levels, affordable for your budget, seasonal produce, and nutritious. Did I mention delicious?
Really delicious.
Good.
And we want to give a shout out to the farmers markets because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to support the farmers as well in our area. So we're buying whatever we can, what's available right now. And you can find the Houghton Farmers Market open on Tuesdays. I believe Baraga is Wednesdays. Thursdays is Hancock. And on Saturdays, you have your choice. There's Lawns, Calumet, Lake Linden, and Bruce Crossing. Bruce Crossing.
If you'd like to find more specifics, you can go to the show notes that are listed below, or you can go to www.wupfoodsystems.com. If you'd like to cook alongside us, we'll be sharing our recipe lists and shopping as well, and that's at www.phfgive.org/BiblioBistro, as well as both PHF and the library's Facebook page.
Today's recipe is quinoa and fresh herb salad.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
So this recipe is really awesome for a couple different reasons. It has some really bright summer flavors. We've got some fresh herbs. We've got some citrus here. The quinoa in it, as well as the other ingredients, which include avocado and sunflower seeds, make this a completely vegan dish. It also happens to be gluten-free, and it's perfectly balanced in terms of what a dietitian is looking for. So it's got fiber, protein, and healthy fats, all fabulous things. And it also happens to be quite allergen friendly because it doesn't have any of the wheat, as well as a lot of the tree nuts that come into play. Sunflower seeds is a perfect alternative for people. So it's really friendly for a lot of different people.
And the stuff we can pick up at the farmer's market this time of year, herbs, kale, you could substitute chard. Probably. That would work if they had that. Green onions. The young onions are a good thing to pick up right now. So should we get cooking?
I think that sounds great. I did also want to mention the price. So the total was $13.67 for this entire dish. There's 4 servings that come with it. So it comes to a total of $3.42 per serving for this meal.
And I didn't use all the quinoa. So you could actually get
a little more bang for your buck.
Yeah, you totally could get more bang for your buck.
Awesome.
Okay, I did start the quinoa before we got going because that takes about 20 minutes to cook. It's a good idea to rinse it. And we use veggie broth. You could use water, you could use chicken broth, whatever is your thing.
I believe we did an unsalted broth.
We did. We picked unsalted so that you could add the level of salt that you wanted to have in it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. So I'm going to start with the herbs first. We're going to throw cilantro and parsley in there. And you can painstakingly go through here and de-stem every one of these. Or you can do a Michael and you can just sort of do a rough chop on the end and be happy for what you got off of there. So it'll look just kind of like that. And we'll do the parsley up.
What's great about both parsley and cilantro is they are packed with antioxidants. Antioxidants are known to prevent cellular damage throughout our body. That's something that we're fighting off every day, whether that's through pollution, stress, or some health diseases that might be causing us to not feel as well. Those are all things that can damage our cells' DNA, and antioxidants actually help prevent that from happening. So it's pretty darn awesome.
Yum. One thing to note with the kale, you guys, is that you want to get that spine off. And the easiest way to do that is to just fold it in half and zip it right along the back.
Ooh, I didn't know that, Michael.
That's a restaurant trick. So I still cook like a restaurant cook because it's hard. It's a hard habit to break. But, you know, efficiency is the game when you're cooking for lots of people in a short amount of time.
Right, and kale has a bit of a more robust flavor, one could say. So as Michael mentioned, something like chard or spinach that's a little bit milder in taste would be totally appropriate substitute. Kale has a lot of health benefits, so if you don't mind the taste, it's a great way to kind of switch up what greens you're using. Kale in particular has quite a bit of fiber, as well as a good source of vitamin K, as well as really vitamin C and vitamin A as well.
Yeah, it's got a nice little crunch. I'm just going to roll it up like this and do a little rough cut on it. I find it's easier to just sort of get everything together and then just do what is called a chiffonade. But I'm going to go this way, watching the fingers down to the end, eyes on the prize, and then I'll do a couple cross cuts on it. Over there. And then we'll move on to the green onion.
Those look so beautiful.
I like to use the whole thing. People have their preferences. Some people just use the green, but you know, the green and the white is so different. So why not have it all, hey?
Absolutely. And onions are something that for people that have stomach sensitivities, that can, again, similar to garlic, that can cause some stomach upset for people. So if you have a sensitive stomach, that might be something that you would want to leave out, or maybe try a smaller amount and see if you can tolerate it. But it does add quite a lot of flavor.
Megan, I'm going to need some lime zest in this recipe. Do you want to give me a hand?
I would love to. So we actually have two different ways that you can zest the lime. This is called a microplane. And what's really nice about this is all you do is you just simply kind of roll around. As soon as it gets white like this, you want to kind of rotate through. That white part is a little bit more bitter. If you wanted to try a different method, this you can use for multiple things like Parmesan cheese.
It's a great tool.
Ginger as well. And this one is more specific to citrus, and it just kind of grates alongside, and it creates more of like a ribbon.
And if you do the zesting first, you can use the whole lime. So Megan's going to zest it, and then I'm going to cut it in half, and then we'll squeeze out the juice.
I always love zesting. It creates a really nice smell while you're cooking, too.
It's really yummy. You get a lot of bang for your buck with the zest. While Megan's doing that, I'm going to get the avocado ready for this recipe. And so I'm going to do it the way I do it, but I'm going to give you guys a couple little safety tips. So I'm just going to cut it in half, probably. That part we all do. I'm just going to go around and cut it off. And then it's going to split in half for me. Now you're to the point where you need to get the seed out. I'd use the knife to do it, but a safer option would obviously be to take a spoon and go around like that. You don't get all of the avocado this way, which is probably why I don't do it. We'll put that to the side, and then I'm just going to give it a little dicing in the shell gently, so as not to poke the knife through. And look at that.
That looks like a beautiful avocado.
You picked a good one.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, there we go.
You know, fun fact about avocados is that they actually have more potassium than bananas. So bananas always kind of get the rap for being kind of the potassium go-to fruit.
Wow.
Avocados are actually better. So for those that are looking for ways to lower their blood pressure, potassium is actually a good way to help with that. As well as if you've had a really intense workout, potassium is usually something you want to have in place.
Intense workout. I was going to say, like, if I took that fantasy 3-mile run.
Yes,
then
exactly.
I'd come home and have
Maybe
a little
just
avocado.
have some avocado. Yeah.
Nice, I like it. Okay, we're good there. We've got all our veggies done. We've got the avocado. We've got the lime ready to roll. Should we put it all together?
I think so.
Can you grab me that bowl?
I would love to.
So, we will add the quinoa in there. Okay.
And quinoa is actually one of the few grains that is what we would consider a complete protein. So that means that it has all 9 essential amino acids. Most grains are what we would consider an incomplete, meaning that it doesn't have all those 9. So that's a great option for vegans, or again, for those gluten-free folks as well.
Right on. I'm just going to start putting the herbs. Ooh,
Goodness.
that one we don't need. And the chopped. Now, I'm going to toss the dry ingredients first. So one thing to remember when you're dressing something is if you throw, it doesn't matter what you're making. It could be egg salad. You know, put all of your stuff in, all your veggies and your dry stuff in first. Toss it while it's still dry. And it'll just mix better that way. You'll just get everything in there, ready to roll.
Well, that's something I'll have to keep in my toolbox as well. I didn't know that.
All the things you're learning, hey? How much of the lemon or the lime do we want to use?
I want to use the whole lime.
Woo!
We're going to make it nice and tangy.
I'm going to dress it with the oil first. This is a half cup. Actually measured out. I did measure. And I'll give everything a little stir before we do that.
Something you can do as well, we have some crushed red pepper flakes if you want to add a little spice. If that's something that, you're not super into spicy food, I would hold off on that, but you can add a little bit. What do you think, Michael? Should we add some?
Yeah,
okay,
let's do it.
We're going to add a little spice. And for that one, I would measure out in your hand just to make sure that we don't go overboard. Like I said, a little goes a long way. What do you think, Michael? More? Less?
More.
More. Oh, man. He's feeling spicy.
I am. Very spicy.
Okay.
Looks good. That looks great.
All right.
Now, we didn't do any salt in the broth. So now would be the time for salt.
Oh, I just happen to have some.
Nice.
What do you think? Maybe like a teaspoon?
I think let's start there.
Okay.
There's
So
nothing
again,
wrong with trying.
I would put that in your hand first just to make sure that it doesn't all come out at once. And we'll just toss that in there.
Okay. I'll get it going a little. And I'm going to throw the avocado in at the end because this avocado is perfectly done. It's perfectly ripe, I should say. And if I did it at the beginning, it would probably be mush in there right now. So we'll just do a little scooping.
And I can grab the sunflower seeds here.
We'll do that. Chop it up a little bit.
Man, that looks so tasty.
I know, I'm totally excited about eating it. Okay, now I'll just give it a little light toss in there, and you can finish it off, Miss Megan.
Just kind of sprinkle it in.
Yum. Looks great.
Again, this is totally vegan, gluten-free. It's got really great balance of different nutrients. So we're looking at those antioxidants we mentioned earlier. We've got some fiber from the kale and the quinoa, as well as the avocado. So lots of fiber. We've got protein from the quinoa. We've got fats from the avocado. What more could you ask for?
Sounds pretty good to me. You want to try it?
I would love to try it. I think we have some bowls.
Oh, nice. Here.
Let's try.
Ta-da. Give you a little. And me a little. Look, I'll give you the fork. I'll take the avocado spoon.
Okay, sounds great.
We did it. That's really good.
That is tasty. And this is something you could probably have hot or cold, okay? And the more it sits, I imagine the more the flavors will soak in.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks for watching us, folks.
If you'd like to connect, you can search Biblio Bistro either on YouTube, on the Facebook page for the Portage Health Foundation or the library, and as well as their Instagram account, again, for both Portage Health Foundation and the library, or you can visit www.phfgive.org/BiblioBistro.
And if you happen to cook along with us, you can share your pictures at #BiblioBistro, and that's all one word.
All right, well, thanks so much for watching.
Yeah, bon appetit.